Opportunity to get the fish. Only in darts do you ever call things like that.
70.
The turtle to get the
required
fish.
20. Game shot on the fourth leg. Steve Brown.
Again, that's a well-thrown dart that's just the wrong side of the wire.
If there's one thing that's been a strength for Steve Brown, it's been his double hitting. He will get a dart, creeps that in the 19s.
On the sixth leg. Steve Brown.
And gives us the old uppercut. We're going all the way, 3-3, but David does have the advantage of throwing
Seventh and final leg.
first.
A 68 is never an easy one because you may only get one dart at a double, and now it's under some pressure.
68.
Huge 140 from Steve Brown. A ton wouldn't have been enough in that situation, but it's going to be 2 darts for David Slikking. What a final leg of darts that was. Steve Brown did everything he could. He was 3-0 down before finding some of his best darts to pull himself back to 3-3. But David Slikking, 5 trebles out of the first 6 darts. A 14-dart leg under the severest of pressure gives him his best performance of the week and puts him up to 10 points. But coming up next, it's possibly the game of the day. Lee Cox takes on Reece Robinson in a top-of-the-table clash.
Reece, you require 76.
But the buzz shot there from Reece Robinson means he goes back to 76, which means he's only going to get 1 dart. It's going to be at the double 18.
Game shot on the second leg. Reece Robinson.
Fair play. That is bottle, composure, handed to Lee Cox.
42.
A chance to get the breaker throw back.
I think that's awkward.
Game
what
shot
an
on the
adjustment that is.
Lee Cox.
When the dart is plumb up against the wire that close, it doesn't leave you a lot of room. Opportunity up and hand it straight back to Reece here.
Well, because Reece has now switched mentality once again. He's gone from having something to lose to having something to gain now. The
108.
He's gone back to being the hunter rather than the hunted. Well, it's a maximum fest.
180.
Hat-trick of maximum scoring visits.
Have to send someone out for some
100
throat sweets for Jack up on the
Reece,
stage.
you require 47.
Well, back-to-back maximums followed by a miss of the big number. Costs him
31.
the dart at the double. And there it is again, 76 the finish.
76.
We've seen it twice already in this game. This would be the biggest one so far. It's tops.
56.
And a long way off.
Reece, you require 16.
Rush of adrenaline.
Game shot on the fifth leg. Reece Robinson
puts himself back in front. He's done his job. He's played his part. He's left the shot, but he will not come back for it. Reece Robinson, a game of blocks. He raced into a 2-0 lead before Lee Cox brought it back. He had a dart to take the 3-2 lead, but Reece Robinson did the job, hung in there and got the vital victory that sees him now extend at the top of the table by 4 points. But will it be 4 points over Lee Cox, or will it be 4 points over Lee Cox and Jarno Bottenberg? Because he's coming up in our next game when he takes on Tom Lonsdale. Skin saver.
Jarno, you require 92.
It was a break opportunity. Oh, he's gone for 2 doubles. He's delivered 2 doubles.
Jarno Bottenberg.
A leg that looked like it was going the way of Tom Lonsdale. He opened up a sizable gap.
Jarno, you require 156.
He's not, is he? Is he? Oh,
138.
my, Jarno Bottenberg.
Tom, you require 66.
We thought that was going to go, Matt.
Yeah, he's just hit 2 of them.
Game shot on the third leg. Tom Lonsdale.
Double 18 hit again there. Tom Lonsdale gets his throw straight.
To go at 92
Tom, you
for the match.
require 92.
72. Double again.
Game
and
shot
they've both
under
been
match.
at it.
Tom Lonsdale.
It's been a double fest in this game. We saw Jarno Bottenberg behind shaking his head. in delight for him, but an absolute fabulous game there. Look at the averages, 93.76, 95.93 for Tom Lonsdale in sealing the points. Coming up after the break, we're going to have David Slikking against Lee Cox. No, double five. This gets tricky.
35.
And that's why, because he's gone round the houses
David,
and come inside.
40. Game shot on the second leg. David Slikking.
And David.
Game shot on the fifth leg. David Slikking.
Get your cameras ready. He loses his games in blocks. He wins his games in blocks. And he had 46. An opportunity to start building a new block of wins. Back-to-back wins was on the line. But Cox for the points.
Double 18 to keep his slim hopes alive. And he finds double 9.
Lee Cox.
It's a 4-3 victory for Lee Cox. And just taps Reece Robinson on the shoulder and says, you still have to do your part. It's going to be tough for him, but he's still in contention. There we have the numbers, 83.42 for Lee Cox. But coming up after the break, we're going to see Steve Brown against Tom Lonsdale.
Tom, you require 110.
So 110 for 2-0. 18 for double 16. And it is 2-0 for Tom Lonsdale. It's a ton-topping finish for the ADC qualifier.
Tom, you require 40.
3 darts for the match. For the points. Down to double 10.
Game shot.
And gets over the line. A 4-0 victory for Tom Lonsdale. More disappointment for Steve Brown. The change of darts didn't work. It actually brought out his worst performance of the week so far. But Tom Lonsdale backs up his best performance of the week so far. That 95.93 in the last. Backed up by a mid-80s. He's going in the right direction. He's on 12 points. He could still get a position in Group B. He could do with Jarno Bottenberg losing the next game, and he is up next against Reece Robinson.
Reece, you require 120.
Hello.
Game shot on the fourth leg. Reece Robinson.
Mr. Must-See. 3 tops for the 120.
110 finish to take us all the way to a last leg shootout. It's a dart of tops.
90.
Pulls it low. And that might be the last dart he throws.
Double 4.
Game shot
double
on the
4
match. Reece Robinson.
Reece Robinson confirmed as the Group A champion with that win. The human highlight reel produced another one. A fabulous 120 finish on 3 tops as part of this victory. Now we have it, the 120, 50% on the outer ring, but confirmed the champion of Group A, Reece Robinson. Coming up after the break, Steve Brown takes on Lee Cox.
Steve,
he must have seen enough in practice to persist with these.
Yeah,
he thought about it, didn't he?
Steve Brown.
The Reece Robinson effect
is that
Lee require
the opportunity to win this match. Oh, he's bust.
No score.
Steve Brown lives again.
Steve, you require 18.
Double 9 for the bomber. Can he work off of that? Yes, he can.
On the match,
Steve Brown has produced his best performance in this Group A. A 4-2 win over Lee Cox. That's more like the Steve Brown we all know. It's taken his time to grow into this, but he is now there. 89.94 the average from Steve Brown. That fabulous 1-2-1 finish en route. But coming up after the break, Jarno Bottenberg against David Slikking.
Jarno, you require 100. Game shot on the fifth leg, Jarno Bottenberg.
Nice finish there from Jarno Bottenberg.
To save the match. Can't find the treble 20, which would have left
47.
The ball. So now
David,
it's out of his
40.
hands.
Game shot under match, David Schlichting.
And there we have it. Match confirmed for David Schlichting. 4-2 winner, and there it is. He loves that camera. 4-2 win for the Turtle, and the race for Group B all of a sudden has just got interesting with 4 games to go. Still plenty to play for here in this Group A, but coming up after the break, Tom Lonsdale against Reece Robinson. So an opportunity here for Lonsdale to apply pressure.
139. Reece require 100.
To this 100 for Robinson. Tops. It's not going to go. So
36.
Tom Lonsdale has the opportunity
Tom, you
here
require 60.
to seal the points. Double 10.
Game
and he
shot
finds
under match, Tom Lonsdale.
Tom Lonsdale has defeated the Group A winner, Reece Robinson, and put himself in pole position to qualify for Group B with a round of fixtures to go. Still plenty to play for here, and we'll see you all after the break. It's a very new traditional route, and I like it.
It's very good for a topsman.
102. Yano, you require
That's what he's left
92.
himself. Will he get a shot? We've seen this go a few times today.
56.
Oh, that's a good effort there from
Lee
Yano
require
Bottenberg.
40.
Unable to get the double-double.
Game shot on the
Lee
second
Cox
leg, Lee Cox.
levels it up. She'll
Lee
see what
require
happened.
8.
Double 2. How much can he see?
6. Yano, you require 32.
Not enough. And it is now match point for Yano Bottenberg. Double 8.
Game
Seals
shot
the
under
deal.
match, Yano Bottenberg.
Yano Bottenberg has done his bit in the race for Group B. He has done all he can. He moves on to 16 points and currently occupies that position, but he will now have to wait until game 15 to see the outcome of where he ends up playing. But between now and then, we still have a game to play as well, which will be Reece Robinson against Steve Brown.
Steve, you require 51. Game shot on the second leg, Steve Brown.
Steve Brown in match number 3 today.
Steve,
Again,
you
staying up
require
there just makes it a little bit more tricky as well. 41 left for Brown. And tops.
Game shot on the
That
third
is 3
leg,
darts
Steve
thrown
Brown.
at a double here for Steve Brown. He's hit all. I think this is going to be it. Steve Brown yet to miss a dart at a double.
Steve, you require 32.
For a whitewash.
Game shot under match,
Bagel
Steve
served.
Brown.
The bomber, Steve Brown, has found something that he's been searching for all day, and he has just whitewashed Reece Robinson, the Group A winner, 4-0. And all of a sudden, he goes into Group C as a contender. But coming up after the break, all eyes on this tie, because it is the race for Group B and third spot, where David Schlichting takes on Tom Lonsdale.
Many congratulations on winning the group. Just sum up the last 3 days from your perspective.
I'm happy with winning the group because there's a lot of great players in the group. But my own performance, I'm not too happy about it, to be honest.
What would you put that down to? What do you think that the difference has been in terms of your level of performance?
I think the first day, I don't know, I won too many points, if that makes sense. And I just was chasing more points, and I don't know.
Did you almost feel too relaxed?
Yeah, a little bit. And then when I was a bit more nervy this morning, I seemed to play better with a bit more nerves, and I knew I needed to beat Lee, who was a class player. And I played better for having that, and I just, a little bit too relaxed on certain games, and yeah, I think that was it.
Do you feel like sometimes you've got to have that push to bring that level that we know out of Reece Robinson?
I hope so, anyway. I hope that's the problem, anyway, and I'm not just very bad. But yeah, I hope it's just me just sleeping a little bit, and then I'll come back around soon.
Right, the human highlight reel did something else again today. The 120, the 3 tops. You've got a bit of previous in doing this here.
Another one.
and another one. 3 tops. Now you're through to Saturday night. Any more Maverick moves on your mind?
Oh, I don't choose what happens in here, mate. Sometimes they just come to me and I'll just go for them. And I might have another one up the sleeve.
3 bullseyes?
Oh, I do fancy it. I fancy it.
Say in the camera, do you fancy the 3
I
bullseyes?
do fancy it.
Right. Thank you very much, Reece. Much appreciated. We'll see you Saturday night. Many congratulations. Enjoy the rest. One more game to go for us. This is the race for Group B darts. David Schlichting against Tom Lonsdale. Now, a 4-2 win for Tom will secure his passage into tomorrow night's action. Reece doesn't have to worry about that. He's through to Saturday, and we're going to see him there. And watching this one, it's Phil and Matt.
Did you require 82?
Does leave a finish, but it's 82 for Schlichting. He was going for the ball.
Game shot on the 3rd leg, David Schlichting.
Tom Lonsdale,
Tom, you require
137.
137.
To win it in style. To win it in style.
Game
That is
shot
absolutely magnificent from
Tom
Tom Lonsdale. A 137 finish to book his place in Group B. We told you at the start he needed to win 4-2 or better, and he has done exactly that. 4-1 win for him, a moment of magic to seal his passage into Group B. And now we're going to go upstairs for some reaction.
Thank you very much, Phil. Well, if you're going to book it like that, a 137 finish.
And 4 from 4 on the doubles as well. First time we've seen 100% checkout rate from any player this week. And what a time to do it as well. In the game where we're starting to talk about the possibility of getting into that Group B, just get over the line at the key point, which is that final fixture.
So those results from today's action, all 15 games have come and they have gone. Just want to quickly continue talking about Tom, because perhaps on Monday there was times when maybe we were labelling at his door. When opportunities came, he passed them by, and we were wondering whether that could be possibly the pattern of play for him this week. But credit where credit's due. As the day's gone along, in clutch moments today, he came up with all the answers.
It was Monday when he didn't. What's Monday mean on a Wednesday afternoon? It doesn't anymore. That just sort of shapes the pattern a little bit. It's all about the big moments. They're not big moments on Monday, they're just moments. And he was a debutant. It was his first day here. He went into that game for the first time where we go, right, he needs a result here, and he needs it by a score. It's not just a case of winning the match. He went into the match, he won it by the score with the leg in hand as well, and possibly one of his best performances. In terms of performance-wise, numbers-wise, nothing's going to beat the 113 he put in yesterday, but in terms of moments and in terms of when he needed it, that's performance of the week.
And in terms of tomorrow night and in terms of Group B, you look at what he's done over the last 3 days and you think he's got every chance of getting out there and making a final debut.
I don't think when we look at this week's Group B that you can really discount anybody. I think Group B is actually quite wide open this week. I think it's Group C where the problems lie, and I think Group C is the one which you ideally want to avoid, because the 3 players coming into that have serious pedigree.
Indeed they do, but one man doesn't have to worry about any groups on Thursday and Friday is Reece Robinson. Now, we've been enjoying watching him this week, haven't we? And shall we have a look at those 3 tops again?
It was one of those that you sort of knew it was going to come. You knew he was going to have a go at it. He had an attempt at the 3 bullseyes as well. He was just getting into that mode where silly things happen with Reece Robinson, and he just took it in his stride, which for me was the big surprise.
The best bit about it is the celebration there. It was a la Jude Bellingham, wasn't it?
Was there even a celebration? It was just sort of like a little wander around. I've just took out 3 tops, you know, that's what I do, was sort of the attitude. And I don't know what it's going to take to get a celebration out of him. Maybe winning another weekly title.
Well, Reece Robinson is definitely the dictionary definition of he's him, because he's got previous on doing this whole tops. In fact, this is the 3rd time he's done it in this competition. This was last time out against Andy Bolton.
And it's kind of becoming a little bit more normal, isn't it? I remember when Jose de Sousa hit in the Premier League, it ruined Wayne Mardle. He had to have a few days off to get over it. But nowadays, we're seeing it so much more often, and it's weird how shots like that just cotton on throughout the darting world.
And I tell you what, one thing about Reece is, I tell you what, he's one of those characters you just can't help but enjoy watching. I mean, even up here on the balcony, he's probably turned into one of the best interviews I've got up here at the minute, because he's just a fun character. I mean, he had me in stitches earlier.
You just don't know what you're going to get from him, which it makes it very awkward to try and commentate on. But on the same aspect, it's different. It's a little bit fun. We don't want robots. We don't want people doing the same things. We don't want people just mechanically going round in circles. And he gives us that little bit of difference. And that's why it's been quite a spicy week.
However, I'm going to be that boring guy right now and say that maybe at times can we accuse him of being too extravagant, and maybe sometimes you just got to put the business head on a little bit.
You'd be the second person to accuse him of that, because I've been accusing him of it all day. And at points, I even got to the point where I said, I'm no longer going to sit here debating it. I'm just going to pass it to Phil Bars. Phil Bars can do it. I'm not doing it no more. And so many often times in the matches when Reece Robinson was on, you heard the cry of, Phil, help me out a bit here, Phil. You know, I don't know how to describe what I'm seeing sometimes. So I'll pass it and hopefully Phil can help me out.
Find out what's happening tomorrow then. Right, let's have a look at the table. This is how things finalise in Group A. Reece Robinson, the victor, by 4 points from Lee Cox. Tom Lonsdale pipping Jarno Bottenberg to the post as far as Group B darts is concerned. On legs difference, David Schlichting finishing on 12, but Steve Brown finishing the campaign strong.
Very strong. And who saw that coming? After Game 3, when he averaged 65 with the change of darts, I really feared for Steve Brown. And I thought, is he even going to be able to get anything positive out of this campaign, to the point where he's probably going to come in tomorrow with multiple sets of darts and not really sure in what he's doing? That last performance against Reece Robinson, backing up the performance against Lee Cox. And when we look at the pedigree of the players, he probably lost to the 3 weaker players, the 3 debutant players, the 3 inexperienced players. So when you got to the back end of the day, he's playing Lee Cox and Reece Robinson, you think he's going to have another day here where he goes through the card without a victory. He beat the toughest 2 players. That's positive going into tomorrow.
Well, let's have a look at the tournament bracket now, because we completed our first group of the week. Thursday sees B and C come into play. Well, let's start with Group C, because we thought right from the onset, before dart was even thrown, we thought this could well be the strongest group of the week. You look at James Richardson winning ADC titles left, right and centre. Andy Hamilton, we know the pedigree he's got. And Scott Taylor, who seems to have a formula for this competition.
That Group C is just another Group A, but with 2 qualification places rather than 1. That's all we're seeing there with that. And I say the pedigree of the group and what they've done before here. I'm really impressed with Jarno Bottenberg. If he can just get that line of consistency together, I think he could be a major threat in that group as well. And because of that, take your pick. How are you going to pick 2 out of that? Now, I hope you don't ask me.
Pick 2.
I said, I hope you don't ask me, so I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that question. It's a horrific group to try and pick. We've got the group favourite in there before a dart was even thrown in, Scott Taylor. Obviously, Reece Robinson now, after winning Group A, has gone up to be the group favourite. But Scott Taylor, you're loving trying to stitch me up, aren't you? They're trying to pick 2 out of that. But Scott Taylor's got to be up there on the outrights.
And Group B?
Oh, that one's going to be... Take your pick again, out of 3 or 5. I know it's my job to stand here and give predictions and to sort of see which way it's going to go. I think I'm going to need a bit more time to look into this Group B, because at the moment, on the first inspections and first looks of that Group B, it looks like it literally could be any result. I wouldn't be surprised to see someone get cut away at the bottom of the table, not winning a match. And at the same aspect, I wouldn't be surprised to see one of those groups we get where everyone's level on points. It's a very evenly matched back end of the week, and I think everyone's gone where they should be.
The good news is I won't be asking you any more bus throwing questions on the balcony this week.
Thank you.
We'll do it in the commentary box instead tomorrow. Matt, thank you for your company as ever. Thank you for your company at home. Remember, we resume 1 o'clock here at the Super Series. That's on the YouTube channel for going live on Sporty Stuff TV from 3 o'clock. Chris Murphy's going to be stood in this spot. As far as Group A is concerned, well, Mr. Must-See was the highlight attraction. Well, Reece Robinson was the tops player.